Right now at 6, a family devastated, forced out of their home by fire just days after a loved one was struck and killed on a sidewalk.
When you're already so weak and so numb, it's just heavy, you know.
Then, a Portland LGBTQ landmark says goodbye and hello to a whole new chapter.
But first, a big deal reportedly to buy the Blazers brings initial relief to Rip City.
It feels like a big weight off of Trailblazer fans' shoulders.
What we're hearing about the team's new owners and the franchise's future. And we begin with that breaking news. The Portland Trailblazers, reportedly, they've been sold. Thanks for joining us here at 6. I'm Christine Padawane.
And I'm David Molko. Reports say an ownership group, which includes at least one prominent Oregonian, has reached a tentative agreement to buy the franchise in a deal valued at roughly $4 billion. With a pledge, though, there are a lot of unknowns to keep the Blazers in the Rose City.
So let's get right to live team coverage this evening. Devin Haskins is live at Moda with how fans are feeling and folks in the know weighing in as well.
But first, Orlando Sanchez with the big breakdown on the big deal. Orlando.
Yeah, David, that was quick. The Trailblazers were officially up for sale in May. Back in 2018, after her brother Paul Allen passed away, Jody Allen took over the team. She oversees his trust and was directed to sell the team. Now there's an agreement in place for a new owner. Sports business platform Sportico was the first to report the estate of Paul Allen has agreed to sell the Blazers to Tom Dundon, current owner of the NHL's Carolina Hurricanes. Dundon heads a group of buyers that includes co-president of Blue Owl Capital, Mark Czar, and Portland-based CEO Shil Tile. The report says the purchase price is about $4.25 billion and that the group intends to keep the team in Portland. Eben Novy-Williams, deputy editor at Sportico, says the franchise's future in Rip City comes down to one topic.
I think the NBA really does believe in the market with the right owner and with the right situation. I think a lot of this is going to come down to the arena. And I'm sure they'll seek public money. They'll likely seek public money. Who knows if they're going to get it? But I think a lot of this is going to come down to what it costs and how easy or how difficult is it to get a building in Portland done that is what a modern day 2026 NBA team needs.
The Moda Center is one of the oldest arenas in the league that hasn't undergone a major renovation. The deal still has to be approved by the league's Board of Governors. That'll likely take a few months. The Trailblazers and the Allen estate have not commented on the agreement and wouldn't expect them to until this deal is done.
Well, at least the intention is there, which is a lot of relief for a lot of fans, I think. What happens next? What's the timeline like?
Yeah, so this has to go in front of the Board of Governors. So we're talking about league owners.
Yeah.
And this could take some time. Like I mentioned, probably months away from getting that done.
So we're talking like next year.
We're talking like next year or mid-season. The Celtics, as an example, they sold for about $6 billion back in March, and that deal didn't get approved until today.
Wow. Okay, so yeah, definitely a timeline there for sure. Okay, what else do we know, though, about Shil Tile? He's the local connection in this ownership group, right?
Yeah, Christine, and I think that's the big takeaway in all that is that there is a key owner who is local and based in Portland. He's the co-CEO of an investment firm called Collective Global. He founded his own global venture capital firm, Amplo, and get this, he's married to the director of the Oregon Health Authority.
So another local tie there.
Absolutely, great. Yeah. So if you are team keep the Trailblazers in Portland,
yeah, of course.
This is a feather in the cap and something to be optimistic about in terms of keeping the Trailblazers right here in Rip City.
Well, we love the optimism. We're going to follow every twist and turn.
Oh, yeah.
But at least this is a good beginning, I think a lot of
I
folks
think that's
would
the
say.
best way to put it.
Hey, thanks, Orlando. We want to bring in Devin Haskins now live at the Moda Center.
Devin, what are you hearing about this sale?
Well, fans are excited, and those that cover the team and cover the business as a whole say fans should have every reason to be excited because of the reported buyer who is reportedly buying the team because of his winning ways.
It just brings a lot of hope and brings a lot of excitement for Rip City, especially at the point we're at right now.
Blazer fans are excited about the news the team has been sold to a group headed by majority owner Tom Dundon, the current owner of the Carolina Hurricanes NHL team.
I was surprised. I was happy. It feels like a big weight off of Trailblazer fans' shoulders to finally have this done and focus on the season coming up.
Sports Business Radio host Brian Berger says with a new owner comes questions, especially about what's next. In the month since the team was listed for sale, NBA Commissioner Adam Silver says the Blazers likely will need a new arena. And last month, a large group of business leaders urged the city and state to renovate or rebuild the Moda Center.
I think most Blazer fans want to know, is the team staying here? Will we have a new arena? Will there be some new development around the arena? And is our team going to be good? And is this owner going to spend money to get us to the playoffs and ultimately to a championship?
And with Dundon's history already proven in Carolina, it shows promise.
I think it's a win because this is someone who knows how to operate a team in a small market. It's someone who has invested money in the team before, the Carolina Hurricanes.
Dundon has turned the Hurricanes around to a team with a winning culture.
But from a fan perspective, he is very, very well liked in North Carolina.
Logan Campbell covers the Hurricanes for our sister station in North Carolina. She says fans should expect an owner dedicated to winning.
You know, he might not have the most traditional ways about going about building teams, but he knows what he's doing. So, you know, if you want a successful guy owning your team, you got him.
And for fans, it begins a new chapter after years of waiting to see what's going to happen with the ownership group.
Big weight off the shoulders, and now just hoping that the new owner also has the same belief of keeping the Blazers here in Portland.
Well, adding to Dundon's praises, I emailed former Dallas Mavericks majority owner Mark Cuban and asked his thoughts on Tom Dundon buying the Trailblazers. And he wrote back to me and he said he'll be a great owner. He loves and knows basketball. He won in the NHL. Followed up saying that he thinks fans will really like him. Back to you.
Yeah, I like hearing that. Mark Cuban responding to our Devin Haskins. Thank you, Devin. We'll continue following the Blazers sale, of course, and as we learn more, you will be able to find updates here on air, online at kgw.com, and anytime on our free streaming TV app, KGW+. You can also watch Orlando's full interview with Sportico's Eben Novi-Williams on the KGW YouTube channel.
Well, in an update this evening, we have learned the driver injured in a deadly crash on Northeast MLK on Thursday has now died. Police say 60-year-old Curtis Palmer veered off the road, hit two pedestrians, and nearly hit a child. One of those pedestrians died at the scene. Another, police say, was released from the hospital today. Authorities say their initial investigation suggested the series of crashes was not intentional.
And today we checked in again with relatives of the pedestrian who was killed in that crash after we learned a fire damaged their home just days later.
Elaine Stevens has the update on how that family is grappling with multiple tragedies.
Angeline McKinney-Craig and her children are already going through terrible tragedy after the passing of her ex-husband, Deron Craig, last Thursday. But then this Sunday, she woke up to the smell of something burning, and when she opened her front door, she was met with a wall of smoke.
When you're already so weak and so numb, it's just heavy, you know. I would have never expected a house fire during this time.
Yet sadly, that's exactly what happened Sunday morning due to this grill, according to Portland Fire and Rescue.
This fire was as a result of a kettle-style barbecue that had been in use, that had been set down on a bark dust pile. Heated up that bark dust pile, it wandered until it hit the structure with enough heat.
McKinney-Craig says she last used the grill Saturday when she had family over before going to a vigil for Deron, just days after he was hit and killed by the driver of this Ford Escape while walking home with their son.
There was no indication after we came back from the vigil. We got back from the vigil at about 1 a.m. No indication of smoke or anything. I don't understand, and I don't know.
Now, McKinney-Craig and her 4 children are currently staying in a hotel.
All that we have is going towards, just feeding, making sure they're fed while we're at this hotel.
The home having special memories for them.
The home is just really special to us, so I'm glad that it didn't take over because, this is the home that we brought our first daughter, Deron and I, to.
The family still trying to pick up the pieces while planning a funeral.
We just cry together and fall asleep crying and wake up crying. I know time heals all wounds, and I'm just ready to start healing from all this instead of having to deal with all this. It's just a lot.
McKinney Craig says any money left over after the funeral from their GoFundMe will go toward the kids, but she'd still appreciate any support from the community that she can get. If you'd like to get in touch with her to donate back to school items, food, or anything else, you can do so through that GoFundMe. In Northeast Portland, Celine Stevens, KGW News.
Yeah, you really feel for that family there. Developing this evening, authorities in Clark County have released several videos in connection with a deadly shooting in downtown Vancouver.
The sheriff's office says on July 30th, a deputy shot and killed a man who was armed with a gun and making threats. A warning, the video is graphic and the details may be disturbing. Here's Evan Watson with the story.
The video begins with a Clark County Sheriff's deputy driving through downtown Vancouver. He spots a man on a bicycle. 10 minutes earlier, the Clark County Sheriff's Office says someone had called 911 and reported that their son had a gun. He was high on meth and he had broken into their home. The Sheriff's Office says the parents said they were worried about their son killing them and himself, and then they told 911 that their son had left the house on a bike. In the video, Deputy Gonzalez turns his car around. As another officer tries to stop the man on the bike, Gonzalez opens his door.
Gun. Get on the ground right now. You're going to get shot.
Gonzalez fired 4 shots, hitting 36-year-old Brandon Whitcomb after he had reached for something. Gonzalez says Whitcomb had pulled out a gun.
Gun's by his head. He's not really talking to us right now. Okay. Hey, I need you to crawl to us if you can, all right?
1 minute after the shooting, officers moved in.
Don't reach for that gun. You're going to get shot again.
CCSO says deputies provided first aid. Medics said Whitcomb died at the scene. Deputy Gonzalez is on leave. That's normal protocol as the Washington State Office of Independent Investigations reviews the shooting. Evan Watson, KGW News.
In tonight's headlines, the Oregon Health Authority has expanded its advisory related to toxic algae in the Willamette River. The advisory now stretches from the Ross Island Bridge downriver to Wapato Bridge and Kelly Point Park. Dry, warm conditions fuel the algae blooms, which happen yearly. The algae can create cyanotoxins that can be dangerous to people, pets, and wildlife. The Health Authority wants people to stay out of the water until the algae clears up.
A heads up, Multnomah County is set to test its emergency alert system tomorrow afternoon. That alert will go out to mobile phones between 2 and 2:30 and the county says it's hoping to reach up to 1 million people. It'll include a link to a short survey that'll help officials see how well the alert system works. Recent disasters like flooding in Texas and California wildfires have shown alerts don't always reach everyone. If you don't get tomorrow's alert, the county wants to hear from you. Just text the word alert to 503-226-5088. We'll remind you of this tomorrow. We'll text you back with a link on how to do just that.
TriMet will shut down part of the Max Blue and Red lines for a week in September to make major upgrades in the Robertson Tunnel, which runs under Washington Park. From September 7th to the 13th, trains will not be running between Sunset Transit Center and Providence Park. Crews will replace track, upgrade overhead wires, and clean the 3-mile-long tunnel. Shuttle buses will be running every 5 to 7 minutes, but riders should still plan for trips that could take up to 45 minutes longer.